Hello, welcome to the video, and I'm assuming you saw the title of today's video. Yes, it's real. Yes, I am scraping the bottom of the barrel with this movie. I went through 600 pages of Amazon films, and I couldn't find a single film until I landed on F.A.R.T. the movie from 1991. I never want to see this film ever again. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, and the only reason I'm doing this is because I watched it, and now I hate myself. And I can't be the only one who knows that this abomination exists. And the worst part about reviewing this film was that I had to sit down and watch the film. So let's get into it. This is F.A.R.T. the movie from 1991. Okay, so firstly I want to cover, well, the cover of this film. It's the worst I've ever seen in my life. It might be the single worst film cover in history. Just have a look. I mean, you've got the word fart, which is farting. You have a heinous looking man who's holding a pizza and a hot dog, and he's just standing in a cloud of his own farts. The slogan for the film is the movie they thought could never be made. Replace could with should, then it's correct. Good fucking god, I hate this film so much. And then if we focus our attention on the back, where it describes the film, it says this is the story of Russell. Russell loves to fart. He also loves Heather. Heather hates farting. In Russell's private world, we embark upon a wild roller coaster made of fart-oriented music, TV and shows. And then at the bottom it says, it's definite fart art. Who greenlit this? Who sat down and thought, do you know what we need? We need a fart movie exclusively about farting. And who agreed to be in this? This is the definition of I will literally do anything for money. It's heinous. Utterly heinous. So the film opens with Russell on his way back from work, and all the way home he's just shitting his pants. He clears the bus with his farts. He clears an elevator with his farts. We see his wife opening all the windows because the fifth horseman flatulence is coming home. And when he actually arrives home, this is what happens.
The trenches! It's the big one coming!
Here we go.
Not funny. Diction's left.
So we find out that it's New Year's Eve and his wife Heather wants to go out for New Year's Eve, but he doesn't want to. He'd rather stay at home and shit his pants on the sofa. And because on top of farting, he loves TV and he's a giant arsehole who just neglects his wife the whole film. That's basically their characters.
Aftershock coming!
So anyway, Heather goes to the party, and we get the crux of this movie, several aggressively unfunny fart-related sketches. My lord, I've never seen something so torturous in all my life. I just wanted to remove my eyeballs with a spoon for most of them. I'm just going to show you them now. I'll explain them. So sketch number 1 is just this man explaining farts. No jokes. Just him explaining farts in different scenarios. Like this really weird one about how you should seduce someone into a sleeping bag with you.
What would be more seductive than to say, oh, you ravishing beauty, come and join me in my fart sack?
I'd really like to meet the person who wrote this and thought, do you know what? This would be really, really funny. This will make loads of people laugh. Yeah, calling a sleeping bag a fart sack. Fuck is going on? Who wrote this? So the next skit is set in the Arsenal Hospital, presented by Dr. Harry Butts, a place for people who fart too much. And we get some patient testimonials from Lucy Bowles and See How He Farts, the recovered fartaholic. Then we get a commercial for Fresh Wind, which is a fart spray that reminds you of your loved ones when they're away or when you're away from home.
With Fresh Wind.
That smells just like Mom after dinner.
Oh wow, tell you what that smells like, my dead acting career that this film just fucking murdered. Although to be honest, no one except Russell has any acting credits, except, Kesha is in this film. No joke. Yeah, there's this scene when they're doing a game show called Who Cut the Cheese, and and they've got this old woman who who's blindfolded, and Kesha, who's 4 years old at this point, comes out and farts, and the old woman has to guess who farted by the smell. I'm not joking. It's a real thing.
Whew! What a lot of musk. You are a very virile man.
The next one is a musical ad for MC Gaseous and his new hits such as Blow Me Away, Can't Eat That, Blowing in the Wind, Yo 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 Beans, Fresh Air for Mikey, and That Was I.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night, I can feel my leg, and my arm, even my fingers.
I'm done. I'm done with like these skits. Okay, I'm moving on. There's so many more, but I'm going to move on to another section because I cannot be fucked to do any more fart-related skits. So the basic format for this film is essentially there'll be a fart skit, and then it will cut to Russell doing something like he's watching TV on one of his 7 or 8 TVs which he has, or he's on an exercise bike, or he's laughing hysterically at something which is terribly unfunny, and then it will cut to his wife who's in visible pain, knowing that she's got a husband who's just an awful man and all he does is fart all day, and then towards the end she has a full-on mental breakdown with a fart nuke. So what's the final verdict? This is the worst film ever made, and I cannot describe it in any other way. I never want to see it ever again, and I think this will always be my worst film ever. I mean, there's going to be bad movies, but this film is a permanent number one. It's always going to be in the number one spot because it's that shit. It's so bad, and the humour never hits the mark, ever. I don't know who the fuck wrote it. The characters are all unlikable, and then at the end it turns out it was all a dream. I mean, pointless. Utterly pointless. I know it's a self-aware thing, like it knows it's going to be a stupid film, but at least make it funny, and you can't do an hour and a half of fart jokes because it becomes so saturated. Like, yeah, fart jokes are funny every now and then. You got to time them correctly. You can't just say, oh yes, fart joke for 1.5 hours and then make it funny. It's impossible. Don't watch this movie. Don't go anywhere near this movie. It's traumatizing. It's that bad. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. And that's it. That's the video.